From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Ants Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Well, as you know, I take pride in Weather NorCal and being the best weather resource for you as well. But I like to have a little fun along the way. And some of the things, I've got some special programming out there as well. Different segments that I do that are some weather related, others not so much. All right, you can see here, of course, for NorCal Ag Report, which is sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery. You know, this is something that I go out about once a week and go to different farms, ranches, and just talk to people about agriculture, how it's impacting us all. So you can watch all the episodes at weathernorcal.com, then just go to the Ag Report section, and you can actually watch all of the different episodes right there on weathernorcal.com. You can also watch them from your free Weather NorCal app. Check it out, it's pretty cool. Hey, by the way, you know, if you're out the door, if you're in a hurry, you got to get out the door quickly, you don't have a time to watch my entire weather forecast, well, I've started doing Kruger's Quickcast. And in about a minute to 2 minutes, depending on what's going on with the weather, you can get the weather for the day so you know what to expect before heading out the door. If you work, getting the kids out to school, what have you. Kruger's Quickcast. All you have to do is go to weathernorcal.com and then click on the forecast video section, and you'll see this title right here. You'll see this image, and then you click on that and you can watch the forecast in about 1 to 2 minutes and be prepared for the day. But if you want a deeper dive forecast, you come right here, right? You want more information, you want the details behind the forecast, well, here you go. We're right now in the middle of that heat wave. The fire danger, it's increasing, unfortunately, with that heat, but we saw some showers and thunderstorms as expected out towards some of the eastern mountains. We could see a repeat of that again here for today, and a slight temperature drop over the weekend. Just a little bit of relief. Not a ton, but a little bit. And take a look at our neighborhood forecast here for today. Yeah, much like yesterday. Triple digits for the valley, not to mention parts of Trinity County. 90s for most of the higher elevations. And for the coast, in the mid-60s. Yeah, I know. You love it out there on the coast, right? Pretty nice. High temperatures out there yesterday. There you can see the warm spot was actually in Corning with a high of 107. Chico just barely touching that 100-degree mark, but 106 for Redding and Red Bluff. I mean, look at the mountains. I mean, temperatures well into the 90s for some spots, although El Turris about 89, 88 for Hoopa, and Weaverville a high yesterday of about 95 degrees. Now, I want to talk about the winds because this is something that we look at here when we're talking fire danger. More of a south wind today, but not that bad. Still pretty breezy though, pretty gusty winds along the coast. That continues even into your Friday morning. But Friday morning looks like it's kind of backing off a little bit here for the coast and then kind of kicking back in here for Friday afternoon. But on the breezy side, and once again for the valley tomorrow afternoon with those winds coming in from the south, but then they should subside again going into your Saturday morning. So what does all this mean for our fire danger? Well, you can see the areas of deep orange and reds. That's the high to even very high category, and that'll be the case, unfortunately, as we go into your Friday as well. There you can see it's actually a little bit more widespread, and again, you're really starting to see some of those reds on the map, indicating some pretty high fire danger out there. So again, just something to kind of keep in the back of your mind as you're going throughout the day. We want to do everything we can to help prevent any new fire starts. Well, there you can see the clouds from yesterday, those showers and thunderstorms, and even some leftover clouds this morning. That's moving out, but then we'll be looking at maybe another repeat of that again today. But notice the clouds up and over the ridge of high pressure. It's a fairly strong one right now, but the center of it is over the desert southwest where most of the heat is. But of course, we're still feeling the impacts of that heat wave as well. But not all hope is lost, because check this out. We've got this cooler air kind of riding up to the north. What that's doing is suppressing this heat. So it's breaking down the ridge. So when you break down the ridge of high pressure, it's not going to break it down entirely, so it'll still be hot, but temperatures are dropping. We're going to be down to the 90s, low to mid 90s, as a matter of fact, here for the valley. So that's good, right? Now, this will continue to push to the south. Meanwhile, we've got high pressure coming in from the southwest. You're like, oh, man, what's going on here? We got another heat wave. Yes, temperatures will go back up again for Monday, Tuesday, maybe even into Wednesday. But again, not all hope is lost. Why? Because we've got these storm systems up to our north that are riding to the north. So instead of a nice prominent ridge of high pressure, we actually have a fairly flat jet stream here. This is going to try to make a reappearance, but it's going to have a hard time because, again, these storms are riding to the north, preventing this ridge from building as big as it, or as strong as it could. So as a result, we actually may see our temperatures begin to drop again after we see that slight increase once again into early next week. So we look at the long range. This is good, right? What we're seeing here is the lighter shades of orange here, and that's indicating, just barely within that warmer than normal category. But look at the Pacific Northwest, actually in the cooler than normal category. So again, those storm systems are riding to our north. That's going to have an impact on us, but not just yet. As I mentioned, we're in the middle of the heat wave. That's why we do have the excessive heat warning through this evening. Highs is getting as high as 106 degrees for parts of the valley. So let's break this heat wave down for you. And of course, maybe that mini heat wave coming in for next week. Red is indicating a major heat risk. That basically means anyone. If you're healthy, you got to make sure you're staying hydrated and staying cool. If you're not, if you're out there overexerting yourself, doesn't matter how healthy you are, this heat will have an impact on you. So just take it easy on yourself here for today. Now going into tomorrow, a little sprinkles of that major, but for the most part, we're more in that moderate range. So it's going to impact less people. And this is just a sign that the temperatures are starting to drop. Now look at Saturday. Yellows are making their way into even parts of the valley. That's in the minor category, not the moderate, but in that minor category. Sunday, a little bit more of that minor, but we're starting to see more of the moderate heat risk begin to make its way back. And then by Monday of next week, again, not as bad, but we're getting back closer to that major category. So temperatures dropping over the weekend and then going back up into early next week. All right, so this is something I haven't talked about a whole lot so far, but I'd like to kind of address it today here. There you can see to help protect your pets. So this is just giving you an example. If you're on the grass and it's 90 degrees on the grass, if you're going on the concrete, it's going to be 9 degrees warmer. If you're going on the soil, it's going to be 16 degrees warmer, 17 degrees warmer on brick. If you're on the asphalt, boy, it's 28 degrees warmer at 118 degrees. And then, of course, AstroTurf. Who would have guessed AstroTurf? But AstroTurf, 35 degrees warmer than the grass would be. So here's the bottom line when it comes to protecting your pet's paws. Just think of the 5-second rule. Take the back of your hand, put it on the surface. If you can't hold your back of your hand on that surface for 5 seconds or more, it's too hot for your pet's paws. So just remember that. It's best to take your dogs on those early morning walks, because that's when it's the coolest out. So there's that chance for more showers and thunderstorms again. Same areas that we saw yesterday, as a matter of fact. And then by the time we get into the evening, overnight hours, that is gone. But it looks like we could see a repeat of that again on your Friday. Look at that. More showers, maybe some thunderstorms. And look at this. Maybe out towards northern portions of Siskiyou County, seeing some of that activity trying to move itself on in as well. And then we go into Saturday. Saturday morning, looks like you see a few high clouds moving in. We still could see a chance for some more afternoon thunderstorms for the eastern mountains again Saturday afternoon. There's your wave heights for today. Good news is by Friday, those wave heights are going to start to recede. But that being said, of course, the wave heights are still fairly high today. That's why there's a small corrected advisory. It was a gale warning. Now it's been downgraded to a small corrected advisory. So just something to be aware of if you need to be on a small boat. Here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. And yes, some 90s, even some triple digits, 102 degrees, 102 degrees in Weaverville. 91 degrees in Douglas City, and 99 for that daytime high in Hayfork. Let's take you out to the north coast, and there you can see out towards central and southern Humboldt County, upper 80s, low 90s for many of the inland areas. Blue Lake about 73, as well as Shelter Cove. Take you up north with about 94 for Orleans, 96 out in Willow Creek, 72 for Klamath and Oric, and Trinidad, a high of about 71 degrees. Let's take a look at your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures are warming up. Kind of the peak of the heat wave is today and tomorrow, actually. And then we go to that cooler weather here for Saturday, Sunday, and then temperatures increasing again, especially for your Monday, Tuesday, even into Wednesday. Your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. It is getting pretty darn right hot out there. Even for the higher elevations, you're in the low 90s. There's that chance for showers and thunderstorms here, at least through Saturday afternoon. There's your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. Also the chance for isolated showers and thunderstorms through Saturday. Temperatures dropping, especially for the second half of the weekend, and then another increase as we go into especially Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor. I've decided to kind of bump the temperatures down a little bit here to the south. There's indications that, I was showing a high in Chico yesterday, about the same as Redding, and then of course it only got up to about 100 degrees for only, but it got up to 100 degrees in Chico yesterday as opposed to the 106 that Redding saw. So I'm just going to shave off a few degrees from what the Weather Service is kind of saying there, but you get the idea. It's still going to be hot. Cooler over the weekend, warming back up for Monday and Tuesday before another dip toward the middle and latter part of next week. We take you up to the north, look for a high of about 105 degrees today in Red Bluff, dropping slowly before going back up for Monday and Tuesday. And of course, that's the case for Redding as well, right? We take a look at that 7-day outlook, upper 90s. Looks like we could stray away barely from the triple digits over the weekend. Yeah, before they go back up here for early next week.
At Cottonwood Small Animal Clinic and Cottonwood Veterinary Clinic, we're here to provide the best possible care for your patients. We understand that your pet is your family member, and when your family member is sick, they need urgent help.
All our staff is so passionate about the care that goes into all your little creatures. Making relationships with pet parents here in Cottonwood is the greatest feeling in the world. Come find us off the Gas Point exit here in the heart of Cottonwood.